Alright, hey, one more time, Humanb0t. So this is your Shyvana game. You went 8 and 4. Let me check what date it was actually. When did you play this game, anyways? You played this game the 23rd of June, so this was 5 days ago. But yeah, go look at this game. You told me. Well, let's see what you told me to. Okay. You miss my Baron. Okay, nice. Alright, anyways, let's just get right into this and try watching a bit of it. So yeah, you're Shyvana, I'll just keep locked on you. Holy, slow down! Wait, where the fuck are you going? Oh, you're gonna steal. Okay, that's fine, yeah. Yeah, it is Zach. He has a slow early clear, I think. But he stays relatively healthy. Obviously, nothing to compare to Shyvana, who clears like an absolute monster. I think if you just stay in the jungle and farm as Shyvana, you just naturally like get an EXP lead above like even solo laners and stuff like that. It's pretty ridiculous how quickly Shyvana can clear, but okay. So you go buff to buff. Gonna take the Scud. Not sure if the Scud's necessary, but yeah, sure, why not? You know, it's an extra camp and you're taking it early, so that's fine. You're probably gonna want to pay attention to the mid lane because they can definitely chain the Zac knock up into a snare or something like that, or vice versa. You know, either way. Um, Bot lane will actually fight a lot, and that's naturally just because they have two hooking supports. So they're always going to be looking for hooks on each other, and it's never really going to be a passive lane. I'm pretty sure that's also a pretty decent target. Finally, top lane. I personally don't really like ganking for Yasuo because he only brings damage and like barely any actual crowd control or anything like that. If you look at Zac, he's probably gonna want to camp mid and top. Oh wow, you got outplayed so hard. Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's a free kill. Let me just go back and see what that LeBlanc did wrong real quick. Just for my own curiosity. Well, she's playing super aggressive. No wards. Wow, dude. She's a god. Wow, he actually missed his jump there, but... Alright, anyway. And you don't really have to worry too much about your laners because Shyvana is strong by herself. You know, you don't have to rely on other people. You just have to try and build as quickly as possible. Obviously, you're gonna gank stuff if it's a very obvious gank or like a surefire gank, but you're not as gank reliant as Evelyn is. You're more farm reliant. That is. But yeah, you just counter jungling the crap out of it. Yep, looks really good. Hold on, let me just see that. Yeah, you saw Zac bottom lane, so hold on. Let me just see what happens here. Oh, wow, he dies for free. Yasuo TPs, okay. Either way, oh shh, fucking hell. Kill me now. Fucking hell. Okay, anyway, whenever you see a jungler bot side, you can counter jungle or you can gank top side. Since the Yasuo decides to TP, you can only counter jungle top side. But yeah, that's great, great reaction by you. You're playing really well right now. There is the mid lane that you do have to worry about now. But other than that, I think bot's in quite good shape. I think top is 2 and 1, so top's in good shape too. You only have to worry about. You can either worry about mid lane or you can just try and really get the lead going in the top lane. It's either one. Because I think bot will always be consistent and will never be useless. Like Jin's never useless, Thresh is never useless. So I don't think you have to worry about that anymore. The only one you have to worry about not being useless is the Yasuo now, you know? That's kind of how I would think about the lanes. It's like, okay, now that I know that everyone is in decent shape, how can I make sure that we're all useful in the mid game, you know? And then once you ensure that, you add yourself to the mix, and then you've got a pretty good team fight going for you, so. Plus, I always do like ganking top lane because it's much simpler than ganking bot lane. Bot lane seems very safe. Mid laners are usually aware of ganks, but top laners are usually the most easy to gank, or camp rather. But yeah, close call. Oh wow, that hit? What the fuck? Anyway, yeah, close call getting that Rift Sculler, but you didn't. But it's fine as long as you have vision on it. Do you have vision on it? You don't have vision on it. As long as you can put down vision and maybe ask your Thresh or someone to put down vision, but I guess if you still have vision on Zac, it's fine, but as long as they don't take Infernal. So right now he's fading in and out, or he's just straight up out of vision, so you have no idea right now. And mid's also being pushed too, so this could potentially lead, if you guys were on the same team, right now, like no one's on the map, and you could think, oh, maybe they're two-manning Dragon or something like that. I'm pretty sure Zac does a decent job at doing Dragon before 6, but and then this would lead to a mid laner like face checking or something like that. So obviously, this is solo queue. You can't communicate instantly with everyone, but something to keep in mind. Looks like they're just gonna give over the blues, which is fine. This doesn't look like the best gank for you. And it looks like... No, you didn't step over any wards or anything like that. But, yeah. Oh, okay, you're just going ham. Alright. Yeah, that's fine. It's decent. Yeah, that's fine. It's still being pressured a lot by their jungler. But, it could have turned out much worse, I think. Let me see how that Nautilus played that, actually. Hang on. So, Nautilus has... Okay, their bot lane's not 6 yet, so that's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good value. It could have been a lot worse if Nautilus wasn't 6. If Nautilus was 6. But yeah, you get out pretty well, you know. You could have still flashed if you needed to, so you weren't in that much risk, so good job, good dive. Let's see how everything's going. Yasuo died once to the Wukong? Yeah, to the Wukong. Wukong's 1-0. And Wukong is one of the picks that can really just take over in the mid game. Just absolutely demolish a low mobility AD carry or a low mobility mid laner. In this case, Jhin is probably going to get shit on if I had to guess during the mid game. Just because they have Zac, Wukong, and Lux, and this is decently low elo, so... Or mid elo, so I don't think the AD carry is going to have enough awareness to be able to play around Wukong ult, Zac jumping in, random Lux lasers, stuff like that, but yeah, you're farming quite well. Looks like you're 10 CS above. And obviously the CS number means a lot more for junglers because every CS averages a lot more for... What the hell? Holy shit, that's a phone ringing. Excuse me for one moment. Hold on. I have to turn this off. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, let's get right back to it. I already forgot what I was talking about. What the fuck happened here? What the fuck? Does he just get straight up caught? Oh, he's doing the skull crab for no reason at all. Yeah, he's actually just retarded. There's nothing you can do about that. Mid was getting pushed in a bit too, so Lux could roam quicker. He probably shouldn't have ulted there. I don't know why he ulted. I think it would have been better if he didn't ult, but fucking Yasuo players. Whatever. Anyway, alright. So, in my opinion, at this point, I don't think the Yasuo is even worth camping anymore. You should definitely camp mid lane, I believe, because I think mid's just getting camped, but I think mid can play LeBlanc pretty decently. There's also bot lane that seems to be very strong because if you remember, they killed the Zac for free basically before they got another kill in the bot lane. So you have to kind of, as a jungler, you have to in solo queue only, not in team play, but in solo queue you have to kind of look for dependable players. You know, always had to assess the players around you and say, who do I think is gonna carry me today? Because obviously it's you know you're gonna carry yourself, but you do need someone to help you out with that. It's not like you can 1v5 the entire team. And I think Yasuo is just bad now. I think he's just a bad player because he started 2-1 and now he's 2-3. Gave 2 kills over to the Wukong. So I thought he AFK'd or something. Anyway, gotta keep going. Yeah, it looks like Miz just being camped like ridiculous amount. He's probably bitching at you in the team chat, but oh hello Zach. What the fuck is going on? Oh shit, let me replay that actually. Looks like everyone's coming down to the bot lane. Your Yasuo has TP, but he does not seem to be responding to life. That Jhin took a step way too close. And at this point, you should probably leave. Yasuo TP late. Nice damage. Maybe you're gonna get this kill? I don't know, Wukong's strong, but okay, you get the kill. Okay, wow, that turned out pretty well. Yeah, whatever. Let me actually see how the rest of this went. So. Let me see what happens when the LeBlanc comes in and when the Yasuo TP's in. Oh, okay. So it's just clean up basically. Oh wow, she actually gets that. Okay. Wow, everyone here. That's pretty... Your top laners actually know what they're doing. Not yours, really, but their top laner knows what he's doing. Anyway. Back to the old fast forwarding. So yeah, that was good. It's fine. I can't say much about that. You pretty much made a good decision making. It looked bad before the LeBlanc and Yasuo came in, so that's when you had to move back a bit. My only gripe is, what I think you could have done... Oh god, there's a gank going on. I'll tell you after this. Oh! There he goes. I wouldn't gank unless, well, I mean, you blew a good amount of stuff. You blew his ult. But I think you can only really get the kill when you have both Smite and your ult. Because I think Wukong is just really slippery. And he's just so annoying to gank. But it looks like you get a free blue buff off this. And Wukong pressured a lot. He has no more kill pressure on top lane. Like I said, a gank doesn't always have to be successful if you can either chunk, or in this case you blew an ult. So a lot of Wukong's kill pressure is actually gone. And now you can be away from top lane for like a whole minute and you won't have to worry about anything. So you can kind of put yourself in this side of the river and then be in a good spot to react to most of what's going to happen. Of course, you did just see Zac pass top side, so you should tell that to Yasuo. Maybe ping his tri-brush or something. Looks like Yasuo's going to get ganked soon. You're just picking up some lane farm here. Not the worst, but you know, I think since you have some jungle camps up, it's still quite good to keep burning through your jungle. And it looks like the Yasuo's dead once again. This is a 3v2 right now, so I don't know how much you want to commit to this fight. You have your smite as well, so it looks decent. As long as you can get out, you should be pinging him back, to be honest, because I don't think you can get kills here. Okay.
Not again.
Oh, you're tanking a lot. Okay, nice. Wow, okay. For some reason, I would have thought that they had flashes or something, but actually, Wukong did have flash though. Did he? Oh no, it's not up yet. Guess not. Well, good job. So yeah, so it's 4 and 3 right now. Mid laners 1 and 3. It's decent. Oh, looks like they're doing Dragon for no reason. I have no idea why. So something to think about as this guy's getting killed. I think you could have taken Drag a long time ago because I think you have better control of the jungle. So you have to think about, as a jungler in the beginning of the game, you should probably just think about, am I going to be able to win a 1v1 versus Zac? The straight answer is yes, you are, because you have more upfront damage. A more detailed answer would be Shyvana versus Zac. You can outdamage him, but I think he can slow you and CC you long enough for his laner to come, right? So you would have to fight in neutral ground, which would be the river, or in your own jungle, or else you're gonna get collapsed on by the enemy because he can hold you down for a while. After 6 though, you should be much safer because you can dragon away, you can like dragon over this wall or whatever, you know. You can use your dragon to escape or your dragon to chase. So since you've already decided that yes, you can 1v1 the Zac, that means that you have river control, or you should always have river control. Optimally, if you can beat out the other jungler, you should be able to control all of the river, and that includes scuttle crabs. Obviously, if he takes one on one side and you take one on the other side, there's nothing you can do about that. But if you're fighting for scuttle crabs, you should always win it. You should be pinging for your team, or you should, yeah, basically just. And you've been counter jungling him a lot, which is really good. But because you had a stronger control of the jungle, you should have been able to get an earlier dragon. The more dragons you get, the bigger your lead becomes, and the quicker you get dragons, the quicker they respawn. So, wow, this looks really good. Yep. I'm not sure if I would have gone Phage first, to be honest, but that's fine. Or even Sheen, because I know Sheen does a bunch of damage. Phage, I think Phage might have been better, because you can stick to your enemies more, because it does give you that movement speed and stuff like that, so that's quite good. And it makes you a little tankier, so you're not afraid to go in harder. But yeah, yeah, the faster you take dragons, the quicker they respawn, so you take a dragon now, you can fit in like 3 more dragons, but if you took a dragon even earlier, you could potentially fit in like four dragons, you know, stuff like that is what you have to think about to kind of like make sure you make your lead large, because dragons are actually very important, especially when it's Infernal Dragon. If one shows, you already know that there's 90% chance, or you should bet that there's going to be another Infernal Dragon. If you get 2 Infernal Dragons, you're going to probably win the game just because of the raw power it gives you for team fighting. Low elo is usually about team fighting rather than rotational play or macro decisions or stuff like that. Games are usually decided by team fighting anyway, so in every elo it's good to have Infernal Dragon. But yeah, that's enough of me talking. Just gonna fast forward this a bunch. Holy shit. Looks like nothing's happening really. Okay. I don't know why I'm playing this so slow. Wow, okay. This looks good for you. Okay, that's fine. You can get the Wukong, and then the rest of your team is gonna win this probably. Yep, that's already a 3 for 1. Probably gonna get more. Yasuo can chase that. Okay, he's not gonna go for that much. I think he could have gone even deeper, but yeah, good job picking up that kill. Nice. You can, I don't know if you want to chase him. Actually, your red's coming up, so you probably do want to chase him out of your jungle. But, that's unfortunate. You didn't get that much tower damage. Hmm. Oh, unfortunate. I think he's just blue smited you. No! Get him! Alright, well, that was a lot of time. Hard to say whether you should have let him back or not, because, so... Let's think about this. So during this whole thing, this took like a whole minute, right? During this whole minute, you guys were both running around, and you guys weren't farming at all, you know? You can assume that the Zac has to back, so he's gonna take like 20 minutes to get back to anywhere, you know, any part of his jungle again, right? You, on the other hand, can go straight, instead of chasing him, you can go straight to Raptors, straight to Krugs, pick up your red buff after that, and then maybe go to Wolves or something like, right? During that, all that time, you can be farming, right? Which will put you, let's say, 20 more, it'll give you like, actually no, it'll probably give you like 15 more CS than you would have had, right? In like a minute, you know? 15 more CS, right? That makes you stronger against than your team, and it makes you stronger against the enemy team. On the other hand, since you guys both did this like little walkabout, both of you guys didn't get anything off of it. You guys didn't get any gold off of it. So both junglers are behind very slightly. So it's something to think about where like you could have used your time more productively to farm because Shyvana farms incredibly quickly. So you're always like more kind of inclined to farm. But instead, it's like, you know, chasing a Zac who's already slippery. It's not the worst decision, obviously. You could have gotten the kill and then the chase would have paid for itself, but in this case, you didn't get the kill, so it's pretty unfortunate. But yeah, something to think about. I'm not saying you did like something super wrong, but I'm just trying to give you ideas to think about, you know. I think that's what makes a good player, having all these having so much information that he can always make the right decision. That's actually what makes a good player, you know? Knowing how to break down stuff easily. Oh, shit, making it slower, not faster. Okay. Yeah, at this point, you guys just want to start taking towers because I think you can win most team fights as long as your Jhin stays safe, stays relatively safe, and your LeBlanc stays relatively safe. You do have to worry about the Zac engage and the Wukong engage when you siege down turrets, but I think as long as you maintain vision in their jungle and look for small fights and stuff like that, you can get mana advantages, which would lead to more dragons, more towers, and would basically just cement the game, you know? Just end the game much quicker. Yeah, you could finish dragon here. Yep, okay. Because if their Zac ever decides to try and steal it, he's gonna be one man down. He's gonna die for free. Enemy team's gonna be one man down, and instead of losing just dragon, they lose dragon and a tower because it's 4v5 or something like that. Yeah. You're going Triforce. Yeah, Triforce. And then you're probably gonna go Titanic or... Actually, after Triforce, I would probably go... Huh. Interesting. What would I do after Triforce? I think I would go Guardian Angel or Dead Man's Play. because with the new Triforce build that Shyvana has, she actually has a lot of burst, which I think helps which I think GA and Deadman's help a lot with, because you basically just want to burst the enemies. It's no longer like a lot of damage. You do have a lot of chase, but with Triforce, you just have a lot of burst damage. And I think Deadman's helps you just get onto the person, and then after that, you can just burst them down. GA, because in team fights, I think you're gonna be main initiation. You or Yasuo. If it comes down to it. But at this point, it looks like you're just making picks, so it's not like you really need main initiation anymore. Holy shit. Yeah, it looks like you're just winning this game straight up pretty hard.
Look what they did.
Okay. Take tower! Take tower! You monkeys! No, LeBlanc, don't die! No! Okay. No! You dick! No, why would you go in on that? Oh my god. Oh! Holy moly. It's a bunch of monkeys, dude. Yeah, you blow Flash for that. Oh my god, she flashed into it. Oh, look at this. This is great. Oh my god. As long as you use this time, you have to realize when your teammates are like wasting their time completely. So you either yeah, you take jungle camps like that, or you take towers, you know. It doesn't matter what your teammates are doing, because it's not about the gold anymore. It's about getting closer to the Nexus, closer and closer to the Nexus. At this point, you're just winning team fights, so you don't really have to worry about that anymore. And you have, what, 2 Infernal Dragons? Yeah, you have 2 Infernal Dragons. This game is pretty much over. Tell your team to focus on the towers. But, yeah, moving on. Keep going. Okay, Baron. Yep, very necessary. And it looks like they have no idea. I would actually have bought a pink ward if you had the money, because that will just assure you the Baron without a doubt. And this Jin's mid lane for no reason, when he should be helping with Baron. That's a good Zhonya's. Oh my gosh, she took Baron. Wait, what? See, this is actually Jin's fault, but is this where you don't smite? Oh my god. I'm not mad. No! Ult out. Please ult out. No, don't ult in, ult out. No! No! The game goes on for like another... Holy crap. This game's gonna go on for another 10 minutes when it should have ended in like 5 minutes or something like that. Don't die, please. Okay. Alright. Let's watch this. Let's see what happens. If I could just tell you something about smiting, by the way. It's very easy, and you probably know it, but you didn't show that you knew it here. But basically, oh shit, where's my pause button? Okay, let it burn down a bit, and pause. Okay. So you look at your little buff thing, and it says 800 damage, right? You don't smite until you see 800, right? So, actually I'll play super slow, right? 17, 15, 12, and then I think you smite once you see the laser. Oh! You smite early, and you basically give her the Baron. Never smite until you see the 800. Just gotta let this keep going. This probably looks really weird. My frames are at like 20 right now. Anyway, alright. What do I have any videos running or something like that? Why is this? Why are my frames so bad? Whatever. Yeah, whatever. Anyway. Oh look, another Infernal Dragon. How about that, huh? What a coincidence, who would have thought? Okay, good job sniping it. Yeah, the game's pretty much over, it's just delayed because they have Baron buff. Dude, I told you, man. 3 Infernals in a row. I fucking told you so. But anyway, holy shit. And I pressed fast forward instead of slow down. Alright, anyway. So you decide to go in. I don't know if that's the best idea, but because your team's not with you right now. Yeah, you die for free. Yeah. This is why. Let me see what you built. You built Titanic? I think GA would have been better. Because your Yasuo has Triforce 2, your LeBlanc is has pretty decent damage. It's not like she's really behind, she's just died for no reason a lot, so. I think you guys have more than enough damage, so I think you should have just gone Guardian Angel here, been the main initiator. If you had Guardian Angel when you did that initiation, it would have been perfectly fine. Because, you know, even though your engage was early, you would have just revived again and attracted a lot of attention. Guess the game goes on again. You guys still got a positive trade just because you're so strong. The gold lead with the Infernal Dragon lead, you know. But it still could have been. The problem is here that you didn't get anything off of it. No one got towers or anything like that. So it's kind of like you allow your opponent to stay longer and longer in the game. I explained this last time, but yeah. Every team fight that you don't take something off of, you allow your opponent to get more and more of an opportunity to get back into the game. I don't think Vayne's gonna do anything throughout most of the game, but I do think that if it was another ADC, if this was like a Caitlyn, or an Ezreal, or a Sivir, or something like that, or an Ashe, she might have been able to carry late game. I know you win this game, but yeah, and you died again there. Mostly because your team wasn't grouped up. You started fighting for like not a really good reason. I guess they take inhibitor. Yeah. If I can just explain something that your teammates are doing that's pretty dumb. This. Because she's trying to assassinate someone, but that's not really the point of right now. Right now, you just want to stay alive, and she gets hooked. Because, so since she died there, right? Her point was just to stay alive until everyone's back up, and then when you guys are 5-man alive again, you guys can do something else. I don't know, pressure the map, you know? Whatever, you don't have to be scared about running into a 4v5, right? But now, since LeBlanc just died, the death timers are desynced, right? So 4 people are going to be up in 10 seconds, except for LeBlanc, which means that you still can't do anything as 5-man. Which is really bad, and it really upsets me when this happens. And it's just about playing smart, stuff like that, you know? It's just about not dying for no reason. Because it goes back to the thing once again, it's like, oh, I guess we can't get any closer to ending the game for like 30 seconds or 25 seconds right now, you know? You can still prep waves and stuff like that, pick up some buffs maybe. But you can't do anything majorly big. Right now it's okay because no objectives are up, but there could have been, you know, there could have been like a dragon up right now, and then LeBlanc wouldn't be there for another 10 seconds while you guys are already over here, something like that, you know. Not your problem, but a problem I see a lot, and that's where you have to ping your teammates back, you know. I know it seems like there's nothing you can do if your allies are being retarded, which is kind of true. It's not in your control, but if you really want to climb, what you can do is you can spam ping them to back, and then kind of like breaks them out of their tunnel vision, because that LeBlanc was tunnel visioning like, oh, I just need to get 1 kill, you know. If a squishy person shows up, I'll just kill him. But that's just a very immature way of playing the game. Again, not your problem. But yep. You see less and less of that as oh shit. You see less and less of that as oh no. as you as you climb higher, you see less and less of that immature. Wow, that was a good hook. Immature playstyle. Wow, that was a free, and they're probably dead. Wow, another good hook. Yeah, the Lux is scaling up. Another 300 AP, and she'll actually be killing everyone. Okay, wow, nice. Good job. I don't know if he's gonna die. Yeah, he's gonna die. And LeBlanc's gonna live, I guess. Oh, Jin. Oh, Jin. Wow, okay. Nice. Get him. Yeah, this Jin seems pretty capable. Obviously, that wasn't that hard of a play to pull off, but, yep, the game goes on. Baron's up again, and Elder Dragon's up again. At this point, Elder Dragon is more valuable than Baron buff at the moment, I think. I would think so. You also have to look at your team comp a little bit, but when you think about it, it's like, well, if we have Elder Dragon up, there's no way we're gonna lose a team fight. Because of the burn that you get, the fact that you have 3 dragons, it's pretty strong. There's like absolutely no way you can lose a team fight. You can basically win 4v5. Oh no! This is what I mean when you're playing a little bit too aggressively. Okay, good job not getting engaged on there. Wow, okay, that LeBlanc's going for it. And she got it too. Which is good. I think Lux is more valuable than LeBlanc at the moment, so if they trade for each other, it's actually pretty good. No, Jin, no. Oh, never mind, you're fine. This Jin's A-okay. Yeah, that's a free kill. Nice. I think you could just take Elder Dragon off this and end the game. Judging by the size of this game, yeah. I think that's what happens. That Wukong dies for free. Okay. Yep, just clear the minions. Go over to Baron maybe, even though I don't... Yeah, I guess it's necessary. Sure, you can burn the dragon down really quick. You just have to watch out for that Luxel when the Baron's really low. But if you buy a pink ward, you don't have to worry about the Lux knowing when it's going to be low or anything like that. Okay, or they could just go for more and more kills. Yeah! Wait, where were you? Alright, anyway, I think this game's over. Gotta get KDA, gotta get more kills for your match history. Yep, this is over. Nice, okay. What do I think about that game? Let's see. You didn't play it bad at all, except for the mid engage over here, the engage over here, where you went too far, then you got killed by Vayne really quickly. Other than those two, which I think could have been fixed if you had built either GA or maybe a dead man's into some other survivability item. So maybe instead of Titanic, you would go dead man's into Spirit Visage. I know that this is probably the regular Shyvana build. Let me just check really quick. Shyvana. Shiv. Yeah, you're building pretty much right. It says you go Blood Razor into Titanic. I don't know why. I thought you were supposed to build Triforce, but I guess not that many people play with Triforce, but Triforce is also really good. The thing you have to know about Triforce is once you build Triforce, it gives you so much damage throughout most of the game that you can just build straight tank from there. You know, you don't need any more damage. So I think going Blood Razor into Triforce into Titanic, that's kind of overkill. Where you should be getting more armor. You know, you could be a more reliable engage for your team that really has no one to engage. Because I don't expect this Yasuo to hit that many good knock-up Qs. I don't expect this Thresh to get any godly hooks. You have to more not expect your teammates to do stuff, but rely on yourself. And then once your GA kicks in, you can maybe get some more kills off of that once you revive. But I think the biggest problem here was the Baron, which it was a simple skill that I told you, where like until you see the number 800 or whatever the smite was, you don't smite. But that small skill can lead to, the game going for another 10 minutes, which I thought it would. I thought it would go until like 32 minutes or something like that, but it went for another 10 minutes, which let's say it went for another 10 minutes after that, it probably would have been anyone's game because they have a decent late game, and that Lux was getting very strong, so that was worrying me quite a bit. But yeah, you played the early game very well, to be honest. I think um, I think you probably could have put a little more pressure, either bot or mid rather than top lane, because Wukong is not easy to gank for. And now Wukong's not that easy to gank against, and mid got camped pretty hard because it's LeBlanc and everyone wants to shut down LeBlanc before she gets ridiculous. But yeah, other than that, played very well. I can see you're improving a lot, so that's really good to see. I hope this video helps you even more, and I'll see you next time.